Hey, and welcome to the Dugout Podcast. I'm your co-host Andrew, joined by my fellow co-host Marissa, and tonight we have a very, very special guest. A like-minded Liverpool fan. Must start.
Pray for me, guys. Pray for me
A
tonight, guys.
like-minded Liverpool fan, a self-proclaimed football guru. Joining the Dugout tonight, we have Kenneth Onyekwe. Welcome to the show, Kenneth.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, madam.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'll let you start the agenda. Be smiling. Don't worry, it's not going to be that
Smiling
painful.
because I am so scared. Because
It's
last
not-
time we had on the guest,
Right.
it was Chris, Chelsea fan, so it was 2-on-1. But we didn't really get it on you.
Mhm.
But two Liverpool fans in one room, guys. Pray for me.
Actually,
Pray for
right,
me, pray
since
for
you
me.
mentioned two Liverpool fans,
Mhm.
this is the first time you and Kenneth have met, right?
Yeah,
Have met.
mhm.
But Kenneth, this is our first show since the Carabao Cup final, so we must offer her some commiserations.
Can we not talk about that? Like it's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. That's
I'm
still,
just
that's
saying.
still
I'm just
news.
saying.
We can move on.
No. You will need to move on, but a well-deserved victory. First bit of silverware for the season.
Victory for? In
Liverpool?
fact, let me not guess.
Liverpool. Wait, you thought you should have won? You thought you were the better team?
I thought that Chelsea were ridiculous
Okay.
and allowed y'all
Hello.
freedom.
Allowed us.
We should have scored at least 2 in regular time. At least.
And you are, conveniently forgetting that portion where they created new rules to cancel Endo's goal, to cancel Van Dijk's goal because of the supposed Endo's foul,
Was
which
it a new
everyone
rule?
everyone does, and which the gentleman, the Man City defender, did on Sunday at Anfield as well with no issues. He pushed out our defender for the way so John Stone could score. But when Endo did it,
But is it that is a new rule, or is it that the rule is just temperament? What's that word? When it's applied, when people feel like temperamentarily or whatever.
well, as a very old Liverpool fan with quite a lot of history and experience about Liverpool, we always feel that there's some kind of special treatment that is brought against Liverpool.
You're not
It's
serious.
fact. It's fact. And if you understand the history of the United Kingdom and England
To
and
quote
the
Rafa,
way
facts.
Yes, and the way Liverpool is regarded. I mean, we can all maybe do a show and maybe bring in an Arsenal fan and a Chelsea fan and a Man United fan and start talking about the aggrieved decisions for the season in the Premier League. Liverpool's top 3 aggrieved decisions will be top 3 on the list.
I agree. There's no doubting that. But y'all have had the rub of the green in many games this season as well. I seem to think, don't harm me, because you love to pick up your phone and message me when I get aggrieved, but when we're on the receiving end, silence. Can we talk about that Chelsea game at Anfield? How much penalties Chelsea should have had in that game?
Would it have changed the result?
But you see, here's my thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's my thing. If you're going to use that, you can't use
I would
that.
I would say you should have had maybe one. I would give all 2.
2.
I would give
My
one.
point is, there's a reason why people online call y'all Liverpool. Y'all have gotten a lot of decisions in recent years. I will say the disallow at Spurs was absolutely ridiculous.
Right?
I will be
How
the
about
first
the
person to
basketball
hold
by
that.
Arsenal?
Of course, we talked about that
What
too.
about you have seen with Doku on Sunday?
Oh yeah, that was
So
a
that's
strong
top 3.
penalty. And I agree, but I will not claim that y'all are some victims because y'all benefit. Y'all benefit as well. So I would actually like to see a kind of table where you see the decisions that have gone against y'all and decisions that have gone for y'all, and see if it balances out.
It doesn't balance out.
All right, we'll see. We gave you that as homework because I know you're a stats guy. But we need to find out more about you though. So how did you get into sports broadcasting?
Well, number one, like quite a lot of the older fans here in Barbados will know, I'm a Nigerian. I was born in Nigeria. I was born in the city of Lagos. And when you're a Nigerian, 99% of us are born with football infused in our DNA. Be it male, female, it doesn't matter your tribe, your trunk, or your race. We're all mad football fans. That's number one. My very first memories, and I'm middle-aged. So my very first World Cup that I can say that I watched in full, knowing what was going on, was the 1982 World Cup. And it was a really brilliant World Cup. Arguably the best World Cup since the 1970 World Cup, which I didn't watch. But when I remember the 1982 World Cup, I remember it so fondly. And when I went into high school, my nickname, I can't tell the whole nickname, but the middle part of my nickname was Rossi. If you know who Rossi was.
Yeah.
So yes, the middle part of my nickname was Rossi. So I'd always been into football, and right from when I was very young. And I mean, unlike here where children play cricket or do athletics, everyone plays football in Nigeria to some certain level. And with the way we were progressing at that time in the 80s, becoming the first African nation to win the FIFA World Under-17 World Cup in 1985, it was just natural. We're doing great in football, and it just grew naturally. And of course, we could watch maybe one or two matches of our local league, but when you're young, you can't go to the stadium. You could see maybe the major matches on television, maybe the Football Association, the FA Cup on television. But the English Football League was very, very available on our television. I think there was a show called, I don't know if it was called Match of the Day then, but there was a very nice football package, highlight show that they used to show then. And, seeing a few Nigerians in it, a sprinkle of Nigerians in that sort of drew quite a lot of us to football. So I've always remembered being into, Premier League football this is more than 40 years now.
Okay, well, that's longer than we've been alive.
I was not even thinking that, but fair enough. It is true.
But I mean, it just shows,
it's true.
like, that's a long, long time.
Yes.
So then there's been a lot of highs and lows then.
Oh, of course, as usual. And I mean, unlike some fans, I don't like to call myself a fan because if you understand, even here in Barbados we have fans. We have what we call electric fans, and fans, sometimes it blows, sometimes it oscillates, sometimes it doesn't oscillate. That's what we consider quite a lot of other support, fans from other clubs, because they support when the going is good and they don't when the going is bad.
It's true.
Again, I'm a member here in Barbados. I'm a member of the OLSC Barbados, which is the official Liverpool Supporters Club Barbados. We are the only official football supporters club in the whole of Barbados. That's a fact. Only official one, only one recognized by any club in the whole of the Premier League.
Wow.
The Spurs fans claim to be official, but they are not recognized by the club. We are recognized by the club, and so we are supporters. So I consider myself a supporter, and I don't mind going through the lows and the highs. That's the whole essence of being a football supporter, being able to. And again, when I look at fans from other clubs leaving the stadium midway through a defeat, I wonder, these are real fans. They're not supporters. These are real fans. Like I mentioned of the record, my sons and I attended Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2 on Easter Sunday last year, and that was their first live football game. And we were down 2-0, and my sons were panicking. I said, "Daddy, are we going to get beaten at home by Arsenal?" Because, of course, their mother is an Arsenal fan, their uncle is an Arsenal fan, their grandmother is an Arsenal fan. I assured them that this is your first game at Anfield. We are not getting beaten by Arsenal. So
the players heard you.
Of course, because we're sitting in the cup, we're in the 5th row, right behind. I mean, so if not for the Salah penalty that he missed and Ramsdale's excellent save late in the game, we'll have won that game. Arsenal was there for the
taking.
But we did start the slide, towards
it's true.
The capitulation happening to
of course, we did, because we sort of put, and which is why Jose Mourinho is so sure that Arsenal are just title pretenders and not contenders this season, because I could tell you what happened in that game and in the West Ham game, Arteta froze. The team was playing their best. And when the Anfield, the same that happened to Man City, you could see that I mentioned earlier, Pep made the right move. He pulled Kevin De Bruyne. Now, I'm a trained animal scientist, and there's something we call passenger birds. These are birds that eat all the food, that run around, but they don't produce anything. Kevin De Bruyne was a passenger bird, and he wasn't effective any longer. In the grand scheme of what was happening, in that sort of, Pep called it a tsunami, was happening at Anfield, and De Bruyne couldn't handle it, and he pulled him. When that happened to Arsenal last season, Arteta froze. If you look at the substitutions, he didn't make a substitution for about 70 minutes, even though the onslaught was on. Salah had missed a penalty. It was 2-1 at halftime. Salah had missed a penalty. We knew the next goal was coming. Roberto Firmino came on for his regular goal against Arsenal, and the third goal was about to come. He froze, and then when he did make his first substitution, he went to a back three. He brought on Jakob Kiwior. Made no sense. Made things even worse. So that was what happened. He froze there. He went to West Ham again. He was leading 2-0. Saka missed a penalty, and they lost their 2-0 lead because he froze again. And like I mentioned earlier, I have records showing that I predicted that they were going to capitulate against West Ham, against Southampton in the third game in a row. This time around, at the Emirates, I was in the stadium, and before I went to the stadium, I said, this game is going to end 3-3. Before we were clapping, and by the time we put down our head to sit down, we had goal. Now, Arsenal were playing towards that way, and Southampton was playing towards this way. So we looked at the Arsenal side to see Arsenal must have scored early. No, it was that way. Southampton has scored early, and they were leading 3-1 at halftime. So he pretty much froze.
Do you think though that is a valid criticism of Arteta, that he doesn't have a plan B? Because it seems that when Arsenal start hot and they go 1 or 2 goals, you can't stop them. But when the plan A doesn't work and they have to dig a bit deeper, do you find that? Because people have said it. So what do you think?
It happens to all managers. Managers have to be very strong in their philosophy. They are very dogged. The difference between Arsenal of last season and the Arsenal of this season is that they are better equipped with players. They have a better squad. It's not Arteta. Arteta has not changed his ways. He has Declan Rice, young, energetic. He now has this gentleman now, fit, and what they call the defender, Saliba. Right. He's now brought in the goalkeeper, right? And also he has now brought in Trossard, who has quite a lot of experience. Whenever I see Arsenal play, I like to see Gabriel Jesus play, because Gabriel Jesus is a typical passenger bird. People don't notice it. He does a lot of running around. He does a lot of, he does a lot of activity as if he's busy.
Yeah.
But look at his numbers. For a man that wears shirt number 9 and starts a lot of games, he has very poor numbers. So the fact that they've now discovered that, wait a minute, Jesus is not really producing enough. And again, I'd known from the time I saw Kai Havertz at Bayer Leverkusen that his best 2 positions was false 9 or number 10. Right. And I was very happy when Arteta bought him and decided to be wasting him in the inside left position. In the midfield. Foolishness. He was wasting him there. I was very happy. But now that he's now moved him to that false 9 position, look at the results so far this year. Same with Jeremy Doku, another passenger bird with beautiful feathers. Does a lot of dancing. Does a lot of prancing. But go and look at his statistics.
He started well though. First few games.
Jeremy Doku, I without looking, you can check your computer. Without looking, Jeremy Doku has 5 goals. No, he has 2 goals and 5 assists. 1 goal and 4 of those assists came in one game. What has he been doing? The best he did. The best he did.
But should have been.
Well, yeah, should have been.
Should have been.
Yeah. But I see what you mean. I like that phrase passenger bird though. We can adopt that with your permission, of course. I like that. There are a lot of passenger birds in some teams in the Prem though that, going
I
around.
go unnoticed.
Pretty flatters and stuff like that. I like that. I like that. So you said you've been a football fan for 40 years. What was the moment you decided to be a Liverpool fan?
Oh, that's pretty easy. So my first trip to the United Kingdom was in August 1983. We stayed in Lewisham. I believe Liverpool, I'm not sure, perhaps Aston Villa were the defending champion. Well, I think Aston Villa were the European champions.
Yeah.
And they had a player then whose name was Gary Shaw, their number 8. He was so prolific with scoring. He scored quite a lot of goals. So I could have easily been an Aston Villa fan, but I didn't like their colors.
I get you.
I didn't like their colors. And early 1983, I saw my first Merseyside derby. And this was the time that it was always, Aston Villa did do their very best in those days because they won the European Cup. But in the 80s, it was really the cup finals, the cups or the great games was Liverpool versus Everton. Liverpool versus Everton. I think that 84, I think Liverpool won the double. And it was the Merseyside derby. That was my first draw. And of course, the number one. And again, these are two worker teams, but the way Liverpool approached the game then, the passing football, the moving the ball around, the conviction in their approach play. They just played beautiful football and they wore beautiful jerseys. So it was Liverpool for me.
Blue is a better color, but anyways.
Anyhow, wait. You see you and these little slang remarks, right? Anyhow.
Blue is objectively a better color than red. May I talk about football now too?
First, you haven't been objective, that's number one.
Blue is my favorite color.
Is it?
It is. 100%.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with the football team I support.
You support Everton,
No, I don't. Everton?
Well, you can't retell. The Red Charles been playing this year, you can't retell.
They may as well be Everton. Honestly, may as well be. All right. So we started this conversation off air, but now we want to delve into the events of Sunday. So I'll let Andrew go first because I know he has a lot. Send me a raging voice note on Sunday. I just cannot deal with it.
He did, but thank God they calmed down,
Thank God. I just like when these games play on Sundays so that by the time we come to record Right. So tell me, what were your thoughts on Sunday?
So it was a fantastic game. Let's start there. It was a really, really competitive game. Really lived up to the hype. City dominated the first 15-20 minutes. I felt as if they, were composed on the ball. Whereas Liverpool, when we got possession, we looked like we were in a bit of a rush. City, to me, set up in an interesting way, which was, to me, their defensive structure was kind of narrow. So they were denying McAllister the ball in the first half, and we had to go along over the top. We weren't winning enough second balls. City got their goal, as Kenneth said, through, devious tactics. Well, to me, it was well worked, but I was still sure my share and call it devious. But then,
Wait, just to interject, I know we just had that little tit for tat about Liverpool getting decisions, but City get a lot of decisions as well, Yeah, they get a lot of soft balls.
Yeah, and no cards, no.
Yeah, and they, this whole dissent nonsense. They do a lot of surrounding the referees, I find, when decisions go against them. And they never get booked, they never get penalized. And I always wonder, what is it with that? Because I guarantee you, if that same thing may have been reversed, the goal may have been ruled out. You never know. We're a different team.
Possibly.
Because I just find they get a lot of decisions, in my opinion.
Maybe they got somebody in their back pocket.
Oh, no.
But I felt as if Liverpool gradually grew into the game. And then second half, City let us back into it with the bad mistake for the goal, for the equalizer. And from there, we were just dominant. It was the case where, I don't know, something about Anfield, something about the spirit of the team.
Mentality.
Yeah, there was just the embodiment of Klopp, and it was just like, we're going for this. And had it been for better finishing, I'll start there first, because you have to look at yourself.
True.
Luis Diaz missed a lot of chances. Really, really good chances. And then, if in that moment, right, I don't know if Kenneth feels the same, but the one where Salah sent him through on goal. And he got the track of you off point, but you mentioned that Arteta froze. Klopp did the reverse. Klopp was proactive. Klopp made two very, very good subs. I felt by bringing on Robertson and taking off Bradley, switching Gomez to the right, and bringing on Salah. which means that you kind of open up the pitch. And the right side ball that we like to play with Van Dijk was a lot more, prominent and effective. But that ball from Salah through the middle for Diaz, if I could have transferred, the swap a player for a moment and take out Diaz and put in Mane, Mane would have scored that. And then the next one, right after, like, I watched a game with a friend of mine and he said he's not going to get a better chance than that. And in the next breath, literally, as soon as he said it,
got another chance.
And he decided to take a touch. And I remember I said you were a couple months ago when when the season started, I said that my worry with Liverpool. And I hope that's the last days for another year at least. Because I said the straight force or the forward line, Salah apart, and maybe Jota. I still find that Darwin, Gakpo, and Diaz can be really erratic. And Gakpo, for me, there was a moment where he could have taken responsibility and take the shot. He chose to try to pass the ball to Salah. But it was just whistle finishing, and the analogy that I would use is like a boxer. You can't leave it up to judges. You got to knock out the opponent yourself. Because clearly, that's what we should have done. Because Jeremy Doku, in the last minute of the game, come in with a big jump kick on a man. Michael Oliver, for whatever reason, didn't give the foul. But got the audacity to give a penalty to Real Madrid in Champions League a couple of years ago for a much lesser foul. One that people might even say was very, very soft. Where Buffon, got sent off for telling him that he has no heart, he has no soul. And I have to be in agreement with Buffon on this occasion. Because, and people made the argument to me about, the game was well balanced and probably deserved to end in a draw. I don't think that referee should referee a game like that.
Foolishness.
If a foul happens, blow the foul.
In his defense, I'm not one to defend referees. In his defense, when I first saw it, I didn't think it was a penalty. I thought he got the ball.
Right.
But, and this is where VAR comes in. The minute that VAR, because VAR did look at it.
Yes.
The minute VAR looks at that, how could you look at that?
And that's my problem with VAR. Like, VAR is supposed to is there to assist the referee.
Exactly. So
VAR did not want to, the reason VAR did not tell him to have a look at it was that they did not want to appear to be refereeing the game. They saw the error. What VAR confirmed, according to the reports, what VAR confirmed with the referee, with Michael Oliver, was that, did you see the foul clearly? He said, yes. He saw Doku make contact with the ball before he made contact with the man, which was all false. Doku made contact with the man before. And in fact, if you slow it down, McAllister chested the ball.
Yeah.
And in the process of stamping on McAllister's chest, the ball dropped on Doku's leg.
Yeah, correct.
So they did not want to correct his assertion that Doku got the ball.
But that's my problem. If the assertion is wrong, you have all means to correct it. That's my issue.
And I don't say as re-refereeing the game, because re-refereeing the game means that I tell him point blank, you're wrong. Change the decision. I'm not saying they should have done that.
Go and look at it again. Because what you saw was incorrect.
And the main thing is that they do it for handballs. They do it for potential records. Why? You know what? It's because I convinced they do not want Liverpool to maintain this.
That's not true.
We've already discussed it off air, but not, again, to add to that, Andrew mentioned earlier that someone is at the back, something like that they're being influenced. I'm a Liverpool fan. I believe in that conspiracy. I strongly believe in the conspiracy. Why? I'll tell you why. The officials that robbed Liverpool of a clear goal against Spurs at the Tottenham Stadium. Guess where they were in midweek? They were in the United Arab Emirates earning money, officiating. Guess where Michael Oliver goes to go and earn money officiating? In the Emirates. Guess who pays them?
Saw this.
So don't tell me that 2 + 2 isn't 4. He has to, sort of soften his decisions to make sure that that other side gig that he has doesn't dry up. In Europe, he knows, Michael Oliver knows, and like he mentioned against Real Madrid, Michael Oliver knows that call is a penalty every time. It doesn't matter if the 150th minute or the 123rd minute. It's a penalty every time in Europe. The same English referee will go to Europe and officiate it differently and call it differently. So it's not that, oh, well, I'm going to see it from the referee. There is no excuse. It was just the fact that they know we're going to get away with this in the Premier League because our mafia, the PGMO mafia, will cover for us. They will come. They know every time all the serious decisions that have been debated on that Premier League show that features Howard Webb is always the Liverpool one. You come 3 weeks later now and tell us, because it's so embarrassing. Nothing is happening now. There are some Premier League games next week. But the next time these big teams are going to play is going to be the end of March. He will come at the end of March and tell, yeah, I feel it was a penalty too. But the referee saw this.
And it doesn't change anything.
It doesn't change anything.
That's my thing. There's no, and me and Andrew have talked about this on the show many times this season. There's no accountability. There's absolutely no accountability for referees and their decisions because, like you say, they know there'll be no consequences. Wasn't there a case where, I cannot remember the game, but I think the referee made a really poor decision, got demoted to the championship as punishment, and then was right back in the prime referee the next week?
Yes, there was a game.
I can't remember it, but it was a really bad decision, though.
I think it might have actually.
Sometimes they're just demoted to being VAR officials.
Exactly.
That's nothing.
I can't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there is no accountability, and because of that, they will continue to make ridiculous decisions. Because, as we talk about as well, consistency. Next week now, Man United versus Liverpool in FA Cup, same incident can happen, and Man United can get a penalty.
But
because that's how it goes.
Sorry, laugh, right?
The inconsistency is crazy.
I'll give you an example that doesn't involve Liverpool. Arsenal versus Newcastle. Well, Newcastle versus Arsenal, the 1-0 defeat, which I lovingly remember. I know the day happened. It happened.
You lovingly remember?
Yeah.
It happened November 3rd.
I enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
2023.
So you thought it was a foul?
No, I'm not thinking that it was a foul. Okay. There was a call when the ball was crossed. The man climbed the ladder that was an Arsenal defender and headed the ball down for the other person to score. And it was ruled a goal. That's fine. Just physicality. In midweek, that same midweek, in Europe, another attacker did the same move and it was ruled a foul.
Yeah.
The same holding down the defender to head the ball down was ruled a foul. It happens.
There's no consistency. None at all. So what were your thoughts on the game on Sunday? We know your thoughts on the penalty.
So, I like to be very, so I'll start to give you a brief about the game. No Alisson, no Trent Alexander-Arnold, no Konate. Andrew Robertson didn't start. Curtis Jones didn't start. No Curtis Jones. No Diogo Jota. Mohamed Salah didn't start. These are all starting players for Liverpool. Liverpool played a defense that contained 2 academy players in centre back and on the right, and played Joe Gomez on the left to start. The reason, and I told you about the record of Pep and Klopp. Jurgen Klopp in his career as a manager, his favorite, I don't know what's the right word to use. I used victim, and someone say, "Oh, victim is the wrong word." But his favorite muse or his favorite person, or favorite manager that he gets wins over is Eddie Howe of Newcastle. He has 13 wins. In fact, 13 consecutive wins over Eddie Howe.
That's mad.
His second favorite, I don't know, vanquished. Do you know who the person is?
Pep.
It's Pep Guardiola. In his whole career. In his whole career, the manager that Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola have faced the most is each other. 30 meetings. And the record is 12 wins for Klopp, 11 wins for Pep, and 7 draws. In the Premier League, 4 wins for Klopp, 5 wins for Pep, and 7 draws. Is it 7 draws? Yeah, 7 draws.
7 draws.
Yeah. And if you add the cup and the rest of the stuff, Klopp has an edge over Pep in England. Why is the record so close? You know why it's so close? Again, I wrote down, you guys have to correct yourself on this show, and you have to, when you're writing about Man City, it's not spelled C-I-T-Y. You have to put it's spelled C-1-1-5-T-Y.
Oh my gosh.
Only reason Jurgen Klopp is a superior when it comes to tactics, he's tactically superior to Pep Guardiola. The only reason, and he said, if you listen to his interview, he said that I know how to defeat Pep's teams. The only reason why the records are so close is the fact that the financial muscle of Man City. Sometimes you're playing them and they have 400, 500 million pounds worth of players on the bench. Look at our team. Some of the academy players I saw on the team against Man City, I've never heard of them before. The people that were on the bench. That's the only reason why it's close. And again, once I saw the team that Pep was playing against Liverpool at Anfield, I said, these guys, there's a Japanese word about being suicidal. This guy is going kamikaze. He was playing 5 forwards, basically. He was being cocky and gung-ho, thinking you'll come to Anfield and blow away Liverpool. Once that, in Nigerian, once that initial aggros, like he mentioned, the first 30 minutes was same thing happened to Arsenal. Once the initial aggros left their system, it was an onslaught. Pep called it a tsunami. He was playing 5 forwards. And when it came to the time to go into the tsunami and battle, they were nowhere to be found. So his midfield was overwhelmed. And again, people saw maybe a back four when Pep spread out, when they showed the team in the formation. He was really playing a back three, and he brought in John Stones into the midfield to sort of link up with Rodri to feed the ball to Kevin De Bruyne. Unfortunately for them, De Bruyne couldn't handle the heat of the battle and the pace of the game, and he kept on losing the ball and giving loose passes. All the second balls were going to Liverpool. And so, what did Pep do? He could see clearly, unlike Arteta, who doesn't like to change when things are going bad, he could see clearly that the tide had changed really, really badly, and the tide was against him, and he pulled his passenger bird. You could see his explanation. This is how we learn football. Why did you book De Bruyne? He told De Bruyne, you saw the conversation he had on bench. Listen, this game is going against us. I had to pull you because I needed a midfielder that could give an extra pass. Because sometimes it's just about, you want to control the game. Rather than going from Kenneth to Andrew to Haaland, which was what De Bruyne was trying to do. Sometimes you go do the triangular, do the rondo, Kenneth to Andrew to Marissa, before you make that pass. Just that extra pass. That was what, De Bruyne, what they call him, the Croatian brought into the game for him. Kovacic. That was brought into the game for him. So it was a game that Liverpool should have won. And yes, the blame is on us for not winning because it was right there. Like Andrew mentioned, if the roles were inverted and it was, and again, Salah is our best playmaker. He has made those passes 1,000 times. Salah leads us in assists. He gave such an assist to Luis Diaz against Spurs, and then the referees union decided not to give us our goal. The same pass again, the same release to Diaz. All Diaz had to do was convert that goal, and Man City would have even collapsed even further and allowed us to score more goals. So we can only blame ourselves for not winning the game. But we'll take the point and buy our popcorn and watch Arsenal versus Man City on the 31st, which is going to be a very interesting game.
It will. I would say no, though, that is Liverpool at home to United, Liverpool at home to Arsenal, Liverpool at home to City. That's 6 points that I think y'all probably should have.
Well, not really. The Man United game, there was nothing memorable about the Man United game. They came there, they were pragmatic, they came there to defend. Remember, just last week, we celebrated the 1-year anniversary of the Liverpool 7, Man United 0.
It's been a year?
A great day.
Yes, it's been a year.
A great day. Thank you for reminding me.
So just last week we celebrated that. It was widely celebrated by Liverpool supporters. So he came there with the intention of making sure he did not get embarrassed again. So that was just all. So nothing happened in that game, which we understand. The Arsenal one, they were pretty fortunate with the basketball that was missed. We know what happened at Spurs. We have only 2 defeats this season, and the only defeat which was, again, I feel that was sort of people were thinking that Arsenal overran us. But if you look at the game critically, we pretty much shot ourselves in the foot. Because the first goal was a rebound. Could have saved that. Second goal, goalkeeper's error.
Yeah.
Third goal, error, and goalkeeper let a soft shot through his legs. So,
who was your second defeat this season?
Arsenal. I don't consider Spurs was not a defeat. Spurs was not a defeat. Spurs was a draw.
I block out. Honestly, I block out that as a defeat.
If you're a Liverpool fan, Spurs is a draw. It wasn't a defeat.
I agree with you because like the Manu game, Manu just basically came to deny. Like for example, he mentioned the tsunami on Sunday. Manu basically denied us the rhythm to get any momentum going in that game. So it was like a stop start. We never got going. For the most part. And then the Arsenal game, we should have won that. The basketball from Odegaard. Odegaard was Kyrie Irving dribbling that floor. He has very good handles, you know. But again, they didn't call it. Trent had a chance, hit the crossbar. Kind of unlucky though, because the ball did bubble before he shot took the shot. And like he said, the Spurs game, VAR. Honestly, right? I'm excited, but interested. I see him to see where we end up this season, where Liverpool ends up this season, because
if you can buy me a ticket to go to England, I know the day that they're going to do the parade. I can assure you we'll win the league. You just need to buy me the ticket.
Well, that was actually
I want to go with you. So
that was my next question, because we have Arsenal on 64 points, goal difference of 46. Liverpool on 64 as well, goal difference of 39. City on 63, goal difference of 35. So I was going to ask y'all who y'all think is going to win the title, but it seems that y'all have already...
Come on, yeah.
You should be asking who is going to finish second and third.
I want y'all to speak with your heart. I want y'all to speak with your head.
All right, let me
Who do y'all really think is going to win this title?
Let me try. I could try.
You could try, but I know you can say Liverpool.
It's really, really hard. It's really hard on analytics. I know.
Listen, right? I know who's not going to win. I don't think Arsenal will. That brings me joy.
You need to stop saying things about Arsenal on this show. That comes back to bite us.
That we think.
You need to be controversial about Arsenal. If you're looking for someone that is a real anti-Arsenal person, you can talk to me.
But I don't think Arsenal will win, so I'm not going to put them.
So you put them second or third?
No, we're putting Arsenal. We're putting Arsenal third in a 2-horse race.
Yeah, third.
Okay.
Third.
Okay.
I honestly, right? You know what? I'm going to go on a limb.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have Liverpool into the race. I started the season. I thought we would have got my top 4.
Anybody did.
But no, we're here, and especially what I saw on Sunday, that spirit, that willingness to just. I'm not sure if it's just we doing it for the manager, and I think that's a big part of it as well. But as long as we got 11 players, Klopp said it a couple times. As long as we got 11, we're going for it. And I can back Liverpool to somehow come out on top at the summit. So Kenneth would go to the parade, take a picture and send to me, and I'll upload them to our Instagram account.
What about you, Kenneth? Do you even need to ask?
Well, I mean, like you said, you wanted the head. Last Sunday's game was really important. We needed to win the game to sort of create that separation from Man City before they faced Arsenal. For anyone that was maybe born 10 years ago or 20 years ago that don't know what's going to happen to Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium, I have news for you. They're going to lose. They're going to lose.
Oh, gosh.
Since Pep Guardiola arrived in England, until this season, well, I mean, let's just do this season. Until this season, Mikel Arteta's record against Pep Guardiola was 100% defeats. 100% defeats. I think the Charity Shield was the first time he was getting the win.
That's where they had the whole parade.
Good. And then the league, the fixture at the Emirates was his first win against Pep, the 1-0 win. Before that, since the 2016-17 season when Pep joined, they had played, I believe, 12 or 14. From 2016-17 to 2022-23, they had lost every single home and away Premier League fixture to Man City. And, of course, Pep is gleefully looking forward to Arteta coming to, because he knows Arteta's, frailties when it comes to how does he handle pressure, how does he handle the empty head. So
I cannot with the digs. They're making
I'm
me
really
crazy.
enjoying it, right?
They're
I
making
listen,
me crazy.
I don't want to plagiarize, but if you hear me say, passenger bird or hear a couple times, you know where it come from.
you know,
Yeah,
so
I've heard empty hat before. It's pretty funny.
you know,
But
if you've got empty, you can call it quiet hard as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so like I always tell a lot of people that don't have the experience with the Premier League, we're not competing against Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
We're competing against Man City.
Mm.
Whoever is finishing above Man City will win the league. It's not about Arsenal.
Fair.
And the Arsenal fans have been making quite a lot of noise. Today I heard them again today, and they're making quite a lot of noise of their 8 consecutive wins. And I said, apart from Liverpool, which team in the top 10 are in those 8 consecutive wins that you've recorded?
100%.
100% so far. Arsenal, fantastic. You have these wins, but you have a lot of hated rivals in the future
Mm-hmm.
that you have to face.
That's what.
You have to play Man City.
Mm-hmm.
You have to play Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
That has not been earmarked. You have to play Aston Villa.
Mm-hmm.
It's not difficult, but it could be tricky.
Mm-hmm.
You have to play Spurs
Mm-hmm.
away.
Mm-hmm.
This season, Spurs drew at the Emirates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And after doing all that in April, which I call the doom and gloom month for Arsenal, they then have to play at the beginning of May with 3 games to go. You have to go away to Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So these are now difficult games back to back.
Yeah.
But yes, Liverpool has similar games like that, but for those teams that open up to allow Liverpool to play their football, and again, they're pretty difficult to beat. They could perhaps handle it better. So it's all about, and I showed you a table earlier of the last 5 seasons
Mm-hmm.
and the points that have been accumulated by the teams in the last 5 seasons. The points that have been accumulated by Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City. Manchester City is doing an average of 26.5 points in the last 10 games. Liverpool is doing 24.5 points in the last 10 games. Arsenal is doing less than 20 points.
20. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
with that, I might actually pull out the remaining fixtures.
Before you,
I know everything offhand. So
I know that's what I'm like. I hear reading it. You just rattling them off. Go ahead, Andrew.
before you go to the remaining fixtures, we didn't hear your opinion on who you think will come out on top. So, yeah.
I generally don't know.
Mhm.
I believe Man City will do it, but I have a sneaky suspicion that Liverpool might pull it off.
Oh, praise the Lord.
I don't like that feeling. That sneaky
Listen,
suspicion.
no, honestly,
But I do have that feeling because this is Klopp's last season. They're going to want to do it for him. And from what I've seen, especially over the last few weeks and stuff, I have a sneaky suspicion. I want to see how the fixtures stack up, but it's definitely between City and Liverpool for me.
City has the softest of the fixtures, and again, they have the squad to execute those fixtures.
Yeah.
But we always remind people in Africa, only 11 men can play for you on a certain day.
100%.
So, even though they have the squad and they have better fixtures, the fact remains now there's a possibility that Ederson is out
for 4 weeks.
For 4 weeks. That's a big loss.
Arteta is a good keeper.
I was going to mention that.
He's a good keeper, but he's not a ball-playing keeper. He's a good shot stopper, but he's not a ball-playing keeper like Ederson.
Yeah.
The reason why Ake passed the ball back to Ederson was that Ederson commands that kind of area and he likes to play that kind of football. That's part and parcel of their football.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a difference. Also, Newcastle I don't really focus on Arsenal's game, but I think of Newcastle versus Man City. It was 2-2 going into the last seconds.
Yeah.
And Pep had thrown out all his guns, everything at them, and they were still holding on. And I think Newcastle was even leading earlier. And then a young boy, Oscar Bob, came from nowhere.
Yeah.
With Kevin De Bruyne, and Kevin De Bruyne came from the bench. Both Oscar Bob and De Bruyne came from the bench and created the magic. So they have a very, very deep squad. That's what Pep has going for him. But sometimes that his philosophy, that his doggedness with playing this philosophy, sometimes it could come back to bite him because some teams might just decide, people like Spurs that know how to play against Pep, Pep football and just say, well, you bring what you have and let's shock you. Remember, Brentford beat them last season.
Yeah.
And I think they didn't score against Crystal Palace at all last season. So there's that X factor. But this is the time that Man City really goes into gear.
Yeah.
And sort of accelerates to the end. But hopefully, all Liverpool needs to do is match them at the moment, because we're 1 point ahead of Man City, is to match Man City.
Results.
If we match Man City's results, guess who's going to win the league? It's not going to be Arsenal.
Yeah. Because Arsenal definitely won't match.
Yeah, because Arsenal is going to lose to. Remember, Arsenal is going to lose to. They've already banked their loss on their record, but it's not been put in. They're going to lose to Man City. So.
All right, so let's take a quick look at fixtures, starting with Arsenal. As Ken would have said, Arsenal have some really tough fixtures. Arsenal-Chelsea was supposed to be this weekend, but it got postponed. So they have that. We don't know when that will play, but that is one. Away at Man City on the 31st. Home to Luton. We've seen Luton over the last few games have been putting up some decent
They'll
play.
win. They hop and pop and they lose. That's
it's true, but that's Andrew's second team. Away to Brighton. Brighton hasn't been Brighton of the last season, but could still be a tough fixture. At home to Villa, away to Wolves, away to Spurs, at home to Bournemouth, away to United, and at home to Everton. So you got United, as Ken rightfully said, I'm glad he made that point, that a lot of their wins of late have been against teams in bottom half. But now you have to play Brighton top half, Villa top half, Wolves, who are currently ahead of Chelsea. No, Wolves in 12th. We in 11th. Right. So Brighton, Villa, Spurs, and United, and City. That's 5 teams. If you want to win Chelsea, depending on which Chelsea show up.
Chelsea's a tricky game.
It's a tricky game, but
any London game for Arsenal is a tricky game.
And we should have beat them 2-0 early.
Remember, Arsenal versus West Ham, they thought it was a sure bet home win. They lost 2-0 at home, but they won 6-0 away. So these are all London games. Are tricky games. They don't come out and just pack it in.
So they definitely, I don't think they're going to match Liverpool and City's results. I think they're going to struggle for sure. And we've seen this season away to Wolves is also a tough fixture.
I'll give Arsenal a little bit of hope.
Okay, go ahead.
In a sense, because I know the staff go to United, but can we really? I'm not saying it can't happen. It's he said it's a tricky game, but can we really, bank on United doing something?
Depends on which United.
Exactly, depends.
Remember that the United squad and the United manager, they are interviewing for their jobs.
It's true.
I thought the decision was already made. I didn't know they're still interviewing.
Well,
I thought the appointments were already in.
Even if Ten Hag decision already in, like Ken said, those players are still fighting for their spots.
I don't think. This is the thing. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I would say, for example, is a case where Arsenal can't go there and win. I think Arsenal could, but it's one 50-50 on that.
The reason why I disagree is where that fixture is. That is second last fixture of the season. Pressure can be on. And we've seen what Arsenal does when they're under pressure. So
So maybe for me, if Arsenal lose there, don't get the result that I want there, is because the pressure get at them. I'm just saying, or in this current climate, going to Old Trafford in the first minute, to be honest. But yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
Go ahead.
There's some other fixtures and they're calling names again.
City, Chelsea, Luton, Brighton, Villa, Wolves, Spurs, Bournemouth, Everton.
All right, Spurs is a big one. I know. I could see Spurs taking points off of them for sure. I agree with Kenneth. I think they will lose on the 31st against City at the Etihad. Seriously, I think there's a lot of huffing and puffing. I wonder if Robbie Love will make another video and try to drip the Arsenal fans again. That was so funny. Boy. But yes, I'm wondering if he would do the same thing again. But I expect they will lose at the Etihad. And the other games for me, I can see Wolves, Villa. I think Emery will want to get one over Arsenal as well. So yes, I think Arsenal will drop some points in the running.
Yeah. So Liverpool's running. Brighton at home, Sheffield at home, Man United away, Crystal Palace at home, Fulham away, West Ham away, Spurs at home, Villa away, Wolves at home.
All right, I'll tell you the games I'm worried about. Brighton hasn't been my favorite opponent since they've returned to Premier League.
They're not going to do anything.
So I'm still cautious.
Brighton under the Gerby has given us, under the Gerby, they've given us, before the Gerby, Brighton were, good lads to us, but under the Gerby,
Yeah,
we've not won. I don't think we've won under the Gerby. We've drawn 2 and we've lost in the FA Cup, and we also lost in the league to them.
Yeah.
They haven't impressed me this season, but
Yeah, they're
in bad form.
wishy-washy this season, but they should. I mean, what
but
like you said,
Anfield,
this is what
channeling.
yeah. So what we're doing. Look, last season we were leading them, and Trossard, I remember that game. He scored a hat trick before he moved to Arsenal. Everything with Liverpool now is not about. You could see it's about that fire, like you said, that inspiration to do something for club. The goal against nothing, and the trends. I can give you. I mean, like, if you tell me now to switch from an analyst to a proper Liverpool fan, I can give you trends that I do not share out with people that we see that why I feel that Liverpool is going to win the league. We'd never won at Nottingham Forest in the Premier League.
Yeah.
In fact, we'd not won at Nottingham Forest for 40 years. There was another place in that we're struggling to win, but we won recently in the league. So
I think it was Brentford.
Yeah, Brentford. Yeah. Again, also Brentford. We struggle at Brentford. So anything that comes to Anfield, that's going to be powerful. Anything that's coming to Anfield, that's going to be powerful already. So even Brighton, with the way they're playing under the Gerby, the force of what is happening might just overwhelm them. With the away games, Man United, unless if this man decides during his interview, again, we're playing them this Sunday. The game this Sunday, we have a poor record against Man United in the FA Cup. But that doesn't matter. We'll still go there and give it a real good show because we have nothing else doing this weekend. And a lot of the boys would like to put a Man United win on their records.
Sure.
So that's one. But that league game will be extra spicy. Because I know, if you recall, in 2021, we had all those injuries and we're struggling. And then we recovered some players. We needed to get into the drag ourselves. We were champions. Then we needed to drag ourselves into... after losing 6 straight home games, late in that season, we wanted to drag ourselves back into Champions League contention. We went to Man United and we won handsomely. Also went to Arsenal and did the same thing. So, with that kind of focus of what we want to do, a Man United that wants to sort of come out and prove themselves is better for us rather than the one that came to Anfield and decided to park the bus.
The main part
will it be Man United trying to prove themselves because they think they could come and try to prove themselves?
They have to come out and try.
Something tells me though it'll be more about stopping Liverpool from winning the title, and you may get a similar, similar game where they come and sit and just
which is good. We want Man United to come out and put their legs in rather than sit back and when we played Arsenal at home, Arsenal had 11 men behind the ball. They played 2 blocks. 11 men behind the ball. Same with Man United. You don't expect that from Klopp. The kind of football that really irritates and frustrates Klopp is those highly defensive. That's what Nottingham Forest does to us. When Nottingham Forest beat us last season, they played a 4-6-0. Those are the kind of teams that really. So the fact that we won there this season was really sweet. I mean, when people Arsenal fans are making noise about their 6-0 win and a 5-0 win, I ask them, is there a golden point for winning 6-0? Your 6-0 win is as precious as our 1-0 last minute win at Nottingham Forest. So our games are not straightforward, but that special feeling of we're trying to do it for Klopp. We're trying to hand Klopp a going away present is going to keep on driving the narrative for Liverpool. I think
so as well.
But I just think games that I would consider to be tricky would be Brighton at home. But well, not because at home, it's just because it's Brighton. We tend to struggle on the Brighton's Deserby's Brighton. Struggle against them a lot. Spurs will be tough as well, even though they're at home.
Yeah, but you know what? We know the thing about Spurs being tough. What we love about Spurs is that they're always open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're always open for goals. Remember last season, we were leading 3-1 or 3-2. It came to 3-3. or I think it was 2-0, and then it was
we were leading 3-0 actually.
yeah, and they came to 3-3, and they thought it was all over.
Yeah,
and then Jota, so
Lucas Moura made a bad pass or something.
So they're always open. Now, if you think of all our games against Spurs, there are always goals in our games against Spurs. So that's the good thing about Spurs.
That's a draw or win for y'all.
The other game that
Spurs draw.
I hope it's a win.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's a win, but I mean, yeah. I mean, this gentleman is a good coach, but I hope that that high line.
Yeah, boy.
Will be so tasty.
Salah, love that.
We will love that high line.
The other game that I would say is kind of tricky for us would be the Everton away. Because going against support is never. I don't ever go to get support.
Yes, but by when they are hit with their another points ban, which should happen soon, possibly this month, because they need to be. The ban has to be issued, and they need to be able to appeal before a certain period in April.
Right.
So that has to happen soon.
You believe that they're going to get another deduction?
Yeah, they're going to get another deduction. They know.
Yeah.
So once they get that will sort of deflate them, especially with the losses. I don't think they won in 13 games. I don't think Everton has won recently.
They've been on a barren.
So,
yeah.
They'll enjoy their new stadium in the Championship.
Oh, sure. So City has Brighton away, Arsenal at home, Villa at home, Palace away, Luton at home, Spurs away, which I think that's
the Spurs.
So they have the easiest. They have the easiest fixtures.
Forest away, Wolves at home, Fulham away, and Man City West Ham at home. So yeah, definitely the easiest of the runnings.
Yeah, the only team there is Spurs away. Yeah. That's the only team.
Yeah.
Because Arsenal at home is.
Yeah, we've spoken about that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a very good title race.
I like that game to end in a draw.
Arsenal City.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't lose sleep if there was a humiliating defeat for Arsenal. But I like it to end in a draw because Man City will drop points, Arsenal will drop points.
Yeah.
Great for me.
Good for Liverpool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once we do our job before then, I beat Brighton.
Facts.
We need to do our job first, and then we can sit back and get the popcorn and we'll watch and see.
We will see. So the last thing we'll do is we look at the quarterfinals of the FA Cup coming up this weekend, because usually we do some predictions of games. So this weekend is Wolves at home to Coventry. Didn't even know that existed. Man City at home to Newcastle. Chelsea at home. Not Coventry, the club. I mean the actual fixture. Okay. I didn't even know Wolves was... Wolves was in the FA Cup quarterfinals. Sorry, Wolves. Sorry, Coventry. City at home to Newcastle, Chelsea at home to Leicester, and Man United at home to Liverpool.
Wait, you saying FA Cup?
Yes.
Chelsea is the ultimate cup team.
Oh Lord.
We always, we're looking forward to seeing you in Wembley.
It's true.
Whatever. All right. So FA Cup Sunday and Saturday. Saturday and Sunday, yes. So you got some 4 interesting fixtures. Wolves, Coventry, City, Newcastle, Chelsea, Leicester, Man United, and Liverpool. Probably the pick of the draws. So we do some predictions where we give our score lines and stuff like that. So first game, early kickoff on Saturday, is Wolves at home to Coventry. You could go first.
Yeah. I'll go for Wolves win. I'll go 2-1 Wolves.
2-1 Wolves?
Yeah.
Ken?
I'll go for an emphatic Wolves win. 3-0.
I'll go that as well. 3-0 Wolves. I think Wolves have been good this season. I think they've been hard done by a lot of poor decisions by VAR. And I think they've been doing good. And I think, semi-final at Wembley could be appealing. So yeah, Wolves for sure. No doubt about it. So City at home to Newcastle.
Is that Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday,
okay.
1:30.
I expect a high-scoring game, a shootout. So I'll say 3-2 Man City.
You're being very generous in Newcastle.
They have Alexander Isak. He's a quality striker.
He is.
So no matter what's happening around him, when he gets around the box, he can sniff a goal. So yeah, that's what I believe.
Fair.
And they have pacey force. Sometimes Almiron might be on his game. Sometimes he's not. Sometimes Gordon. I don't even know if Gordon is fit presently. But,
yeah, he played yesterday, so I think he's okay.
But he didn't go off for the injury.
So they have at least 2 goals in them, because again, remember, if Ederson is missing and Pep goes with his
Third choice.
with his back three. Newcastle will have chances, and I'm sure Isak will convert.
Where is this game playing?
At the Etihad.
Okay. All right. So I think
Empty head.
I think that what am I gonna say? Don't make me lose my train of thought.
But it is the empty head. They offer fans. They're full of plastic fans. They make people offers to come and support them.
Wow.
And sometimes you can call it the quiet heart because their fans don't make any noise because they're plastic fans.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
They don't make noise, and they always beg them to make some noise and all that stuff.
Yeah, Pat always begging for that.
So
we conquer. But so I think that the fact is that the Etihad. So I don't expect a high scoring game necessarily. I think that Newcastle will maybe play a good first half. But I think I did fit in second half. So I'll go for a 2-1 City win. Because I find that when Newcastle, they do well in the first half and then second half they're like almost unable to keep the ball.
What was City's last score in the FA Cup?
I cannot remember. What was it?
It was Luton Town, I believe.
Let me check.
I think it was 2-6.
Oh yes, 6-2. Yeah.
If you don't compete with City, they will blow you out.
It's sure.
That's true.
100%. Yeah.
City is not going to do 2 goals and say, okay, well, hey,
that's it.
Newcastle, we're going to respect them.
Yeah.
No, but I just feel as though. All right, I think Newcastle will score first. But then I think they'll be defensively solid. But I think that the fact they're not going to carry a threat throughout 90 minutes, I feel as though City would get another 2 or 3 goals. So I'll go 2-1, maybe 3-1.
Yeah, I go 3-1 as well. I think Newcastle have not been that great away from home. If it was at
St. James,
yeah, I would probably gone differently. But I think it would be 3-1 to City. Chelsea at home to Leicester.
I'll let Kenneth go first.
Oh, this is going to be a real good shock. It's going to, again, I mean, Stamford Bridge is the home of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Oh my gosh, that is such a perfect analogy.
So we had Mr. Hyde on Monday.
Right.
So we expect Dr. Jekyll on Sunday.
I think we had a bit of both on Monday.
So you won on Monday. So we expect Dr. Jekyll on this weekend. So it's going to be 1-2 to Leicester City.
Okay.
2-0 to Chelsea. Don't embarrass me, boys. Don't embarrass me. 2-0.
I'm going to go...
Semi-final at Wembley.
Sorry, so I thought you were done.
No, I don't know. Semi-final.
Didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. And here's the reason. I want Chelsea to remain in the FA Cup because, like I said before, I don't want to lose out on the chance to meet Chelsea. Wait. You're being very rude. I do not want to miss out on a chance, the opportunity, the possibility of facing you again at Wembley so that Virgil van Dijk can do it all over again.
I feel you.
Up and batting.
I feel you.
Now we can move on to the next game.
Man United at home to Liverpool. I'll go first.
Sure.
2-0 to Man United. I just kidding.
Whoa.
That was just spiteful. I do not believe that. I think that Liverpool have a better side. They have a better manager. I really think that they want to go for every single trophy this season. And I think that the opportunity to put aside one of their biggest rivals on the way there is very appetizing. So I think I will go with 3-1 Liverpool.
Okay. I think Liverpool are just playing better right now, so I'll go 2-1 Liverpool.
Like I said earlier, I cannot call a game for Man United against Liverpool. I feel we're going to go out there in force. We're going to rest players for the midweek game against Sparta Prague because we were leading them 5-1. But we're going to go out to Man United in force and we're going to give it everything, especially for Klopp. So,
I think so too.
I'm not looking at any low scoring. There's no way Man United is going to be leading 2-0 and we'll just say, okay, we'll pack our things and go home. I'm not looking at 2-0. I'm not looking at 2-1. I'm looking at a 3-2, 4-2 scoreline, Liverpool.
Yeah, I agree. Look at you, look. Anyways, it's been a great show. Fantastic show, Kenneth. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been a pleasure. You made us laugh. We'll probably be laughing all the way home. But your knowledge, your insight, fantastic. So we hope to have you back again.
Sure.
Hopefully not at the end of the season if the Liverpool do the God forbidden quadruple. I will not be here for that. I let you know, no, we will not be here for
It's
that.
okay.
You can have a show, all by yourself. I will quietly take my exit and just leave the authority out if that ever happened. But yeah, we want to thank our sponsors, Whole Health Pharmacy, Spirit Light Studios. You can follow us on the Dugout.
On the Square Podcast.
The Dugout.
I'm whispering. Sorry, because I can't remember.
Yeah, we're back with this, guys. We're back with this. The Dugout Podcast on Instagram. Marissa Simone 91, June 91 06. And yeah, it has been a fantastic show. Thank you to Kenneth again. Andrew, I would say it's been a pleasure, but
whatever.
But you know what I realized though? Y'all are actually matching, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's nice. Thank God it's not red, guys. Thank God it's not red.
I'm saving that for the big one.
Red is for parades.
Exactly. Saving it for the big one.
Save me. Save me.
This is just regular day wear. I started giving away Liverpool jerseys because I have too many. But this is just regular day wear. Red is for parades. You know, if you see me in Priceman, you see me in my red. You see me in my red shirt. You see me with all my patches on. I even decided not to bring the caps so people can see my face and they have different caps.
Save me. Thank you so much for coming, Kenneth.
Sure.
And thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the internet next time.